back live. I had to get that mic issue fixed. I don't like using my cruddy ass headset. I like using my Hypercast I got. But anyways, as we get started here tonight, we'll go ahead and zoom in on John Knight's car here in a bit. But while we wait for these guys to grid, let's go over our starting lineup here tonight for our first official playoff race here in the season. Starting off in row one, it is not a shocker. It's the two drivers that have been battling out every race. It seems like this season. Jonathan Nance on that pole position, getting that sweet little bonus point. Right outside of him, you got Joshua Banks. Row two, Alex 4J, another top contender in the Arca Truck Series this season. Outside of him, you have JP Schneider. Row four, Jared McCauley and John Neidick. Row four, you got Matthew Richmond and Josh Fastenbender. Row five, Peyton Harden and Kevin Jordan. Row 6, Stephen Madden and Bo Dinger. Going on to row 7, Nick Joyner and David Harden. Row 8, I am not racing, but Chase Harden will be on the inside. Row 9, Joshua Connor and Jonathan Stevens. Row 10, you got Brendan Hughes and Corey Bradley. And to round out the field in row 11, you have Max Matrice and Brady Price. Correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas. I think the only name I am not seeing on here tonight that is a playoff driver is Steven Madden.
He joined. Nope, Steven Madden's in there.
Did I
He's
literally?
11.
Oh wow, wow! I am. All right, that's the kind of day it's been for me. I try to usually do a pretty good job and remember which drivers to wear. But we're going to try to get in a better camera angle of Mr. Neidick's car here tonight, racing for his dad. And having a loved one that I've lost to cancer just kind of hits closer to home. You see his dad on the side there and in the back part of his car, I believe right in front of that D behind the window is bladder cancer awareness. So definitely keeping him in our thoughts and prayers as this race goes on, and hopefully his dad gets better. But man, it wouldn't be playoff racing if you don't. Man, I love the 8-pin scheme too. Thomas, why? You did that, didn't you?
I did not do that.
Anyways, I love how it's playoff racing, and to start off the first playoff race at this 2-mile track, you got the two dominators that we've been seeing all season long, the 8 and 36. I think they've had more battles this season than any other series in Midwest Aces Thunder. So we'll be live for 45 laps of racing here, 90 miles. And the one thing these drivers got to watch out for, I know from experience, is green flag pit stops on exit. All it takes is a centimeter above that white line and you're black flagged. It is the most touchy tracks with exit penalties. So we'll see. Coming out of turns 4, coming to the start finish line. Green flag racing here at Auto Club. All the drivers seem to get a pretty good jump here as Joshua, I hate these two running here, so Jonathan Nance getting a pretty good launch on that start as it's starting to look like the inside line might be the go-to on a restart here, Thomas.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. You didn't really get to see too much of that in the Xfinity race.
None of that.
But,
there was no cautions.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely looks like the bottom's good to go off the start for a while. But I haven't driven these cars on Atlanta for a while, so saving tires would be my #1 key.
I'm sorry. Did you just call this Atlanta?
Maybe.
Oh my lord. Anyway, back to the race.
It's been a long day.
Yeah. Back to the race, and man, these three drivers, it's gonna be interesting because 4J joined late, so that's why he's so low on the leaderboard. But he's been dominating since he came in the Arca series. It's gonna be really interesting when we go to Homestead for the championship race. Who's gonna win between these three? Cause I'm calling it now. It's gonna be these three and one wild card in a Homestead for the championship 4.
I will give you those three, and I will raise you a Kevin Jordan.
I don't know. Kevin Jordan's had a really strong season here, currently running in this ninth position, but you can't can out Adam Leideke. Actually, you know what? As I say that, he is the playoff driver didn't load in. I was about to talk about Adam Leideke. I thought he was in here, and with Adam Leideke being out, Kevin Jordan or Thomas. What about this 93 of Matthew Richmond?
Oh, is Matthew Richmond in it?
I believe so.
See, I done forgot.
No, he barely missed it. He barely missed. That's right.
I thought he missed it by like 1 point from getting it. As we speak about him, he's up in the wall.
Up in the wall and doing a really great job keeping it up there, not jerking it off that wall and collecting other cars in his mishap. Yeah, now I really think about it, I don't know if anyone has anything to really contend with the 36, 78, 8, and 95.
I mean, the only other person I could maybe say he's just not as consistent as what I would like in a driver to be in the playoffs is Corey Bradley. He's had very good runs.
Dude, we got a car up into the wall. Who was that? That looked like that was a 7 of JP Snyder, playoff contender, hard contact into the wall there.
Yeah, JP. Oh. Looks like he's got a tire down.
Yeah, it looks like he's missing a tire. No cautions out as Joshua Banks is still leading this race. Let's go ahead and I don't know if it's going to show up on my SDK.
That's what happened.
Did he get a little help?
He did get a little help from the number, is that the 43 Lowe's machine of Peyton?
So, I was laughing during, I felt bad for doing it. I was reading the comments, people posted, and Rowdy on Twitch, he said, "Is Crash Hard in racing tonight?" I just couldn't help but laugh. At the 8, Dawson Nance getting up into the wall. Man, this track is starting to get the better of some of these drivers as Nance has quite a bit of right side damage. And if you've ever raced this track before, this track is more aero dependent than Daytona. It's insane how aero dependent this track is.
100% on that one.
But going back to the playoff driver, you're talking about Corey Bradley. I mean, you can't forget about this 26. And the only reason I keep remembering who's driving this car is he's the only guy I've ever seen drive a Kia in NASCAR.
This is very true.
Steven Madden, he hasn't had the finishes to where he's been running. He has been running top 5, top 10 really all season long. It's just late race incidents he gets involved in, and it takes him out of contention a good finish. I think Steven Madden, if he can have a good run here in the playoffs, he might be the upset to sneak his way into the championship 4. Because remember, Thomas, all it takes is one win in a round of 8 and you're in.
Yeah, this is true. And we definitely know he is definitely a road course guy. He said it when he first came in. He was a little nervous about the ovals, but he's definitely proven himself.
Yeah, and the thing that's gonna hurt Steven though is our road course of playoffs is next round. So his guaranteed shot into the round of 4, he's gonna have to work his butt off at Kansas and Phoenix to make it in there. But going back to the racing action, Joshua Banks is putting on about a half a second lead ahead of Alex 4J and John Neidick, as Jonathan Nance has fallen back all the way to 6th place from from the pole position. So how about
They are definitely racy from like 9th place and on back.
Yeah, and Peyton Harden having a pretty good outing so far here tonight. Peyton Harding, usually one of the guys we see out in the back chilling, and I think playoffs are going to bring out the best in drivers, as we're going to start seeing drivers who usually kind of sit out in the back and wait out a crash be running up in the front in the top 10. As we mentioned before, I hadn't touched on it yet. If you win a race in a round, for example, winner of this race, if it is a playoff driver, they automatically get qualified into the round of 12. So winning a race like this, especially going to a track like Rockingham next, I just raced it last night in Xfinity. Rockingham is like, I would like say like a mixture of Dover, Darlington, and Bristol all in one. I think that's the best way you can describe Rockingham.
Yeah.
The way you gotta arch your turns like Darlington, the way you gotta take the exit like Bristol and the entry like it's such a weird track, but it's fun. It is a fun track to race at, but you don't want to go into Rockingham not knowing if you're going to be in the round 12 because anything can happen there.
Yeah, Darlington is very similar to Rockingham as far as how you have to get in the turns and just the tire wear. The tire wear at Rockingham is so crazy.
But while we were talking about the playoffs, 4J closing in on that lead. How about this 44 machine of Jared McCauley up into third position right now? Once again, one of those guys we don't see up front till later on in the race, and I think that's something you're going to see throughout all the playoffs in Mdot is everyone pushing their car from the start. But the 44 so far having a really good run is Kevin Jordan. He's moved his way up in the 6th spot already. Find out John not in contact between the 80 and 95. 80's going to go around into the pits, and that's not going to bring out a caution, unfortunately. Or it might. '80's still out on track. Surprisingly, no caution.
No.
And because of that contact, Kevin Jordan dropped from 6th all the way down to 13th. And here's another guy we don't talk about too often early on in a race, Thomas. How about that 5th place runner, Josh Fastenbender, right now?
Yeah, Josh runs real good. He's normally up there around the top 10.
He's just one of those guys that just sits out in the back, waits for cautions. I think we might have just lost Thomas there.
No, but I had to do some admin.
Gotcha. But going back to the lead up, I can't believe we missed it with all the action going on in the back. Alex 4J has taken over the lead from Joshua Banks by quite a bit. Something had to have happened on last lap. Let's go ahead and watch this pass for the lead here. See if something happens to the 36 machine. Oh, yeah, definitely. 36 got into the wall going into turn 3 here. We ride along behind him. Just into that corner too hot. Into the wall he goes. And Alex 4J with one of the easiest passes for the lead he can get here at Auto Club. We're already on lap 16 here. Hey, Tom, I got to ask you a question. Did you get the fuel right?
I did get the fuel right.
Okay, so we're not going to repeat it last week to where we see 100% fuel.
Nope, I got the fuel right. The only thing I didn't get right was at first was made it an open setup race. Fixed that.
Oh, come on. As Stephen Madden has
I'd be okay with that.
Stephen Madden has some fans chiming in here on Facebook. Colin Walker, as he chimes in. Steven Madden gets around Josh Fastenbender for a top 5 as of right now here on lap 17. Looking at the scoreboard, and Peyton Hart is still having a pretty good battle here for a top 10 finish with the 96 and 88. Oh, that's his brother, actually. This should be interesting back here. I didn't recognize chasing at number 96. I'm used to him being the number 5.
It's the Napa one that throws me off.
Yes.
Number.
Yes. Thank you. We've heard interviews from both Peyton and Chase here. There is no hard feelings between these two brothers. Twins, I should say, right here. And oh, is Chase throwing a block?
Will Chase let him by, even though he's a playoff driver?
Oh, no. You saw that block going into turn 3 there. Or turn 1. He was not going to make it easy for Peyton to get by. I think Peyton was tempted to put his bumper to him. But Alex 4J still leading the race with Joshua Banks slowly but surely closing in. Was up to about a second lead, has dropped that down to 0.6 of a second. As unfortunately, Kevin Jordan having issues. Yellow flag is out. Let's go back and see what happened here with the number 95 of Kevin Jordan. Oh, he just slid right in front of the 88 of Corey Bradley. Nothing. That's 100% of racing to here at Auto Club. These tires, when they get worn out, your car just gets so tight. It's hard to stop that slide from the start. Though I was trying to say before I saw he was having issues is if you guys watched the broadcast for the endurance race, I had something up here that shows sectors. I don't get that option on this layout, unfortunately, which would be awesome. But unfortunately, I don't get it. Actually, I do. Right there. I lied. As upgraded arts coming YouTube 43 is lethal. So Thomas, I gotta ask you, dude. Oh, he's out. Where'd he go? Thomas went up to the admin channel, so we'll ask him that question when he comes back down. So if these guys get ready for their pit cycle here, I guarantee you everyone should be pitting in. I don't see anyone staying out. Maybe a playoff driver in the back, like maybe Brandon Hughes or Nick Joyner, Brave Price, someone like that, staying out to maybe lead a lap. Even then, that's risky, because unless you get an early caution, you're going to have to pit during a green flag cycle, and you're going to lose a lot of positions. Kobe the Goat, Jonathan Banks, and Nance, let's get it, boys. Yeah, those two have always put on some really outstanding battles here in the Arca series. While we're under this caution, let's go ahead and go over our schedule for this next week here in Mdot. As of tomorrow night, we'll be live. I won't be live. Francisco and crew will be live for our first race of the Cup Series playoff here at Auto Club. And then next week, we go to Rockingham in the Xfinity Series, Arca Series, and Cup Series. We talked about earlier how technical that track can be and how difficult it can be. But the Truck Series, they will go racing at Monza. Not the road course. No, the Super Speedway at Monza. And if you have never watched a race at that track, at the Super Speedway race, you are in for a show, because those wrecks, they get violent. Looks like JP Snyder stayed out. I believe he should get the free pass or the waiver round, one of the two. I think JP Snyder staying out for the waiver round. JP Schneider gets that wave around. It's going to stack this field up 2 by 2. So we're going to go green flag racing with 23 to go. You left me.
Could be some admin stuff.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Trying to figure out why the cautions aren't.
Oh, did they have to manually throw that one? Oh, you guys did. So Mr. Thomas did screw up. He forgot to put cautions on.
No, cautions are on. That's the sad part.
All right, Tom. I was going to ask you a question, and I'm going to try to ask it in the most non-drama-filled way I guess you can. With Peyton being in the position he's in, do you think if he wasn't in that position, he would have spun Chase there? With that block?
Yes.
That's the best way I can word it. We're not going to bring it up. That's all I want to talk about it. As Matty G say, Brandon Hughes, go faster. Hey, Matty G, hop in the crew chief spot. Help him out, man. No, that was definitely not off track, Kobe. That was in the middle of the track. But this nice little Ford Mustang pulls off into pit lane. 78-36 will lead us to green flag. Behind them, you have the 44 and the 8.
Green flag.
23 to go here at Auto Club. Everyone getting a pretty good jump. They're keeping on the 80. I know it would mean a lot for him to get a win here tonight. And John Notting has always been fast on these type of tracks. As the 78 and 36 are wheel to wheel coming out of turn 2. That's the 36 is a great run on corner exit. We talked about the highline being fast on the start of the race, but I don't know.
It's anything like the Xfinity cars. If you can run that high line, you get such a good run off the corner.
Well, while we got some green flag racing, let's go cockpit view with this number 8 of Jonathan Nancy for a lap or two, and just watch how tricky this track is and listen to these wheels scream. So I got to ask you, Thomas, here. Are you a top line guy or a bottom line guy? Cubby's chiming in middle line all day.
I am wherever my car doesn't hit another car.
I prefer the top line, man. I just feel like I have had better luck saving tires. I actually was on a strategy Monday night for a 2-pit stop race until stupid dang black flag. I don't want to talk about it. Twice in a row. So funny thing, Thomas.
Spot for me.
So when I came back in the race, right, every time I pitted, I came out of pit lane doing like 50 miles an hour until I got to the blue cone. I was like, I'm not getting another damn black flag. Nope.
They're getting pretty racy back there.
Yeah, Kobe. Jonathan Nance is playing it really smart right now. He's taking it easy on these tires, and he's just letting them battle it out as the 84 of Bo Dinger goes to the inside of him, rolling through 3 and 4. So Jonathan Nance.
Pretty wide action in the back.
Jonathan Nance definitely playing it safe here. That's the 80 of John Notting. He started towards the back on that restart, or he made his way all the way up into the 8th spot, trying to get around the 4 of Max Retrieve for that 8th position.
Man, you want to watch a race, you need to, from 12th on back.
Steven Madden.
Crazy.
Holy cow. 3-1. Oh, wreck on the coming out of turn 4. You're going to throw a caution, buddy, because cautions are off. I think you put cautions off. Let's go back and rewatch what happened. We saw the tail end of that. Let's see what started that, though. See Nick Joyner. Oh, I think Peyton might have got a little loose there.
Yep, looks like Peyton got loose, and
let's go ahead and go copy these front car. Yeah, paint just got loose. And this isn't dogging on Peyton, but that right there is just inexperience on oval racing. Peyton, he stayed in the gas there. A lot of guys who have done a lot of these races, they know when you start spinning out like that, get out of the gas, let the car correct itself. So these boys said playoffs, so nothing against Peyton there, just a little bit inexperience. I mean, saving a car when he starts to decide like that, it comes with experience on track.
Oh, for sure.
That's why if you ever racing with me and you see me doing drifts during practice, I'm doing it for fun, but also I'm doing it to learn how to control the car. And ever since I started doing that on all the tracks I go to, I've kind of learned how to correct a car without having it jerk right into the wall on me. So these guys ran 5 laps here, Thomas. Do you pit? That's the question.
I'm pitting. If the tire wear is anything like what I'm used to, I'm pitting. I don't care if it's 5 laps, 4 laps.
We do have some takers stay out. Someone stayed out. 2 people stayed out. I saw the 26 staying out. I think the other one's the 18 of Stevens. A non-playoff driver, and I know if I'm Steven Madden, I'm like, dang it, dude, why couldn't you pit? I need his lap lead. Also, it's Kevin Jordan. He's let's see who takes 2 tires here. It's got 5 laps. I mean, you say you pit, but I take 2 here.
I took 2 even without it being a caution for the Xfinity, just to kind of loosen the car up a little bit for me.
As the 8 wins a race off a pit road, I believe the 8 of Nance took 2 tires. Oh, and he's gonna get a black flag. I'm telling you, that's gonna be a black flag. Watch it, Thomas. That's gonna be a black flag. Let me know for sure it's not a black flag. That's not. That was. I'm gonna be screaming.
So far, nope.
What the? What? That was a black flag for me. See, here's the stupid thing, right? I crossed the line way less than he did under green, and it black flagged me twice.
Yeah, I went back and watched that.
So you understand my frustration? You're probably laughing your ass off too, weren't you?
I'm not gonna lie, in my mind I was like, hey, I have a free position.
I don't lie to you. When the second time it happened, I all F forward. I had to go for an actual drive because I was livid. And then I came back, I was watching a broadcast, saw some people I quit, and someone had wrecked out. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna come back in and get some couple spots. So Stevens Madden staying out that pit cycle, and we're about to see real quick how important fresh tires are. And don't look now, but right behind him, you have the 8, 36, and 78 are practically nose and tail when we go by green flag racing.
Oh, don't look out, or they better watch out, because the 80 is definitely on a mission right now. All the way up in 7th place.
Yeah, the 80 got a big break from that caution that came out with a 95 and 86. I think it was an 88. Huge break there. He was about half a lap behind, so caution came out. He's able to get some fresh tires. Gained a lot of spots on that last restart, and probably can gain a little bit more here. Pace car pulls off. Field coming back to the green flag for 15 to go here at Auto Club.
Green, green, green.
already a car spinning around to 86 and Nick Joyner on the restart. No caution though. Three wide, two wide. Oh, car into the wall. It's the 8 of Jonathan Nance.
The yellow flag is out.
I had the wrong button.
Thomas, you did not. Thomas, you did not just do that. Oh, gosh.
As I was trying to get back to live,
All right.
I hit the wrong button on my button box.
Since he hit the wrong button, let's go back and see what happened here to the 86 Nick Joyner, one of our playoff contenders here on this restart. What do you mean the 95 is not a number no more? It's right there. 95 Kevin Jordan. Oh, what in the world happened with Corey Bradley? Well, that was weird. All right, cockpit
Looked
here.
like the
Corey.
88 got a little loose.
That was weird, dude. That's 26 of Steven Madden. He's deciding he's going to come down pit lane and get some fresh tires put on. No. 95. Right there. Kobe. Here, I'll even go to better camera angle. The white car is 95. This is the 93. So the 18 of Stevens definitely putting a wrench in some of these playoff drivers' plans. And that's one of the great things about racing. And one of the things I've always loved about watching playoffs in any motorsports, whether it's NASCAR, F1, dirt bikes, like the non-playoff drivers being in contention to put a wrench in a plane of a playoff driver. It just creates the excitement. I don't know how you feel about Tom, but I like it.
I really like it.
I say that now, it's like it took up by non-playoff driver Rockingham. I won't be too happy. I did a 115 lap racer yesterday. I got doored twice into the damn wall. Once coming out of turn 2 and once going into turn 3. But I will say this though, Thomas, and any driver in the 3 Series racing next week, if you have never raced there before, get practice now passing there, because passing there is a whole another ball game. I have never had that much difficulty passing at a track. It's worse than trying to pass at Darlington. I'll put it that way. Brandon Hughes is trying to sneak in the next round. He's going to shift that car into a higher gear, currently sitting in P17. But after Thomas's rookie mistake here, we're going to go back green flag racing with 11 to go. There's another driver to talk about real quick before we go back green flag racing. How about this 4 of Max Matrice having a really good run here tonight, currently sitting in that 8th position.
Green flag, green flag.
Back to green flag racing with 11 to go here tonight. Oh, it's the 86 of Joyner getting all sorts loose on the restart, able to collect it, and we stay green. As Nance and Banks making quick work of that 18 machine who is still on older tires, getting around him pretty easily. As Nidek still on the outside of 4J. 3 wide down the backstretch. They go. Go back to the battle for the lead. Nance and Banks wheel to wheel where they've been all season long. Nance into the wall coming out of 4. It's going to cost Nance some time there in the 18. And Steven's still able to hold his own with these guys on fresher tires. As Nidek's going to look to make it 2 wide going into 1.
The yellow flag is out.
As the yellow flag is out. So Jonathan Stevens has some issues of looking behind me. Ooh! 80 of Nidek got in the back of Stevens a little too much as, oh wow, a lot of drivers involved in that one. We'll have to take another look at that real quick. Take a look who exactly was all involved in this wreck. As 18 spins around 4J barely gets me. Fastenbender barely getting through. 42 of Brady Price involved. 96 of Peyton Chase Harden involved. Going to go on board here with the 78 and watch him make it barely through this wreck. Ooh, that is close. Man, Thomas, I thought you did another oopsie. I was talking to my wife.
Nope, I was watching it. Saw them get in there a little hot.
Do you want 2 big chickens?
So, gotta ask you, Thomas, and everyone watching right now, has this race disappointed tonight with it being a playoff race?
For me, not really. I mean, we got a good mix of playoff drivers up front with some really fast non-playoff drivers up there. I mean, there's been very few wrecks besides just kind of simple mistakes.
Yeah, these Arcas really all season long have done a really good job of keeping cautions to a minimum. I know they went through a little slump towards the end of the regular season for a couple of races. Had a little bit more cautions than what we're used to seeing, but definitely came out here tonight to play and have some fun with good hard racing.
I will say, Mr. Bo Dinger running 4th. Max is up to 7th from starting 21st.
I think they got to really keep your eye on who's had a really strong race and quietly sitting there. That 44 of Jared McCauley. I mean, those two leaders, they're racing it out to the wall. I mean, if they make a mistake, they get collected. He can sneak with a win on the last lap.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to, say anything too much because drivers that are up front. But I will say, Jared has had very, very good races. He's just came up 3rd short quite a few times to either Banks winning, Nance. Between all their wins, he's usually up in the top 5, so he's definitely a very consistent driver.
go back green flag racing here. 6 to go. I don't know if the cautions are done yet. I'm hoping they are. I'd love to see a good 6-lap shootout here. Well, we already know if we do see a caution, it's going to come to a green-white checkered finish, and that always creates a ton of excitement. Drivers get ready to come out of turn 4 here for hopefully what is going to be a green flag 6-lap shootout, as Banks and Nance will lead us to the green flag here. 6 to go.
Green, green, green.
Green flag waves, and we are back to racing here at Auto Club. Nance was a really good restart there. Banks must have spun the tires a little bit. He's going to fall all the way from first, all the way down to about 7th or 8th place. Not the restart you want to see here. 6 to go. Oh, big wreck behind it. Peyton Hart into the wall.
The yellow flag is out.
Let's go back and see what happened here with a 43. Ooh, man, we've seen a lot here tonight. Drivers who think they are clear and they most are certainly not. And these Arca cars, you do not have any room for mistakes here.
Listening to the radio, it actually sounds like Banks' shifter messed up.
Oh, Banks definitely cutting a break here with that caution. I think we should go green with 2 to go. So this will be an unofficial green-white checkered attempt, I believe. I don't know. Do you pit here? I mean, if you're someone like Matrice, Price, JP, Hughes, do you pit here, get some fresh tires, and maybe make up the ground you lost plus some on a 2-lap shootout? Or what could be maybe 2 green-white checkers?
It really just depends if they feel comfortable enough on this track. If I was comfortable, a couple, like 12th, setting where JP is, I definitely would come down, take 4 tires, and hope for the best.
So far, no takers down pit road yet. If I'm someone like Brady or even Brandon Hughes, I'm pitting. But no one comes down pit. We do have a couple takers. Steven Madden and Peyton Harden involved in the incident. Coming down pit road this time by. But if I'm towards the rear, I'm definitely pitting, get some fresh tires. Because you never know. We're going to go by green flag racing with 2 to go. An unofficial attempt at a green-white checkered. If a caution comes out, that's another green-white checkered attempt. I mean, you can easily make up 5 to 10 positions on fresher tires here. We've seen it done. While we're on their caution, let's go ahead and look at the fastest lap time here tonight. So far, it's looking like Bo Dinger has the fastest lap. A non-playoff driver stealing that point away from a playoff guy. Grant, we still got 2 laps of what's going to be some really hard races that might change. We go to the most position gained. Yeah, Maximum Trace and Brady Price both up 12 positions from where they started at, running 9th and 10th. O'Connor and Dinger up 10 spots from where they started at. And that's another interesting thing about non-playoff drivers racing with playoff drivers, is those bonus points getting kind of taken away from a playoff driver. Most laps led, pole position. Any of those bonus points we have here in Mdot, if a non-playoff driver gets it, that bonus point basically goes to waste. So it's really interesting. I remember I was talking to Tabor one day. I was like, man, can't you just make it to where, let's say a playoff driver qualifies second. Can he technically get the pole position point? Tabor's like, no, that's not how it works. Which actually, so Thomas, you there?
Yes, I am.
So Ethan brought up a good point, though. I know Matt said playoff drivers or cup drivers cannot qualify in the Xfinity Series, which makes it interesting because that means practically 9 times out of 10 that most position gain point is going to go to a cup driver, because when you do not qualify, it goes off your I rating. So I was talking to Ethan. If I didn't qualify Monday night, I would have been the first guy. I would have been first out of the non-qualifiers with my I rating. That he brought up a good point. Like, yeah, you do bring up a good point. Most position gains kind of goes down the drain in the playoff for Xfinity because cup drivers aren't supposed to qualify.
This is true, but I mean, in all aspect, I mean, I get doing it that way. That way, the guys are behind all of us Xfinity guys. They're not kind of in the way, per se. Even though all of them are way faster than me.
Yeah, right. They're going to get around me eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm out of around me at the start.
I mean, to be honest, I let them all around me at the start of the race, so.
We go at green flag race for 2 to go at an unofficial green white checkered attempt. But if we do get the white flag, the race will end under green. So we go back green flag racing, back through the gears they go. Nance and Stevens leading us to green. Nance getting a really good entry into turn 1 there, kind of putting a little bit of a gap on that 84 machine, as 4J has a really good roll through the center. I don't think he quite clear the 84. Barely gets clear the 84 there. And back in the pack, we got a big wreck going on.
The yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag is going to fly, and that was a lot of playoff drivers involved in that one. Not sure if I'm at the right one. If I am, look at the 88 of Corey Bradley got into the wall, and Peyton Harvey is trying to avoid him. Peyton, David, 26 of Stephen Madden involved. We talked about him earlier. Has such a great run going on earlier on in the race, and just gets caught up in other people's incidences, and I think he is out of fast repairs as he was involved in a caution earlier. That might be the night for Stephen Madden. Yeah, they are 5 wide coming out of turn 2. Holy cow. Let's go ahead and see if Stephen Madden comes to pit lane. If he has the quick fix, he is dragging that radiator on the ground.
He, on mine, his tire is shoved up in his hood.
No, that's what it's like on mine too. It's just like when you go to the rear chase of it, it looks like he's dragging the radiator on the ground. It's hilarious. It's funny, but it's not. Hopefully Steven has a faster pair left. If not, it's a tough break for him, as he was running top 5 a good first half of this race. Oh, too far. And I don't think he has a quick fix. Oh, that is such a tough break for Steven. I don't know, Thomas. I don't think I'd ever put a 5 wide on any track. I don't care how many laps are to go. I don't care for the win. I ain't putting 5 wide. That's just asking to get wrecked. Peyton Hardin out of the race as well, I believe. Stephen Madden out. Both those guys not having the race they want. And while we go green, before we go green, while that leaderboard's up there and we're under caution, let's go ahead and pull up that championship standings one more time and kind of see where your drivers are running in relation to the standings. So Stephen Mann and Peyton Harden, bottom two in the points. They're definitely going to have their work cut out for them come Rockingham. They're going to have the best race of their lives to try to advance to the round of 12, as they're unfortunately going to finish towards the bottom end of the field here tonight. David Harding currently running in 18th spot. Alex Forte having an outstanding race, currently running in second. Nick Joyner
running 16th.
16th. I spelled his name wrong. No, I didn't.
With a beat up car. He's had some issues tonight.
Corey Bradley's on pit lane. He's currently sitting in sixth, but he might fall close to the bubble line going into Rockingham. And these are all the points they started the race with. Haven't figured out a way to put the live points up there like NASCAR does. I wish I knew how, but I'm not no tech geek.
Let's hope we can get some real good last couple laps in.
Now, how many green light checkers did you give them, Thomas?
1.
They're supposed to have 2.
My bad.
Damn, Thomas.
They get better figured out on 1. I mean, they gotta get it down sometime. Next year in Xfinity, they're gonna have no quick fixes.
Back through the gears they go into turn 1. Nance and 4J side by side, putting a big gap on the field. 2/10 already going into turn 1. Banks had that issue on that restart with his gear shifter, I guess. Fell back to 8th place and made his way back up to 6th, trying to gain some spots back here at the end of this race. But it's still a fight between Nance and 4J going into turn 3. Sideswipe there by the 78. 78 to the lead. Bo Dinger, non-playoff contender, looking to spoil the win away from all these playoff guys. 1 to go. Nance going to look to the low side. 4J going to stick to the middle. 4J going to try to get the run off a corner exit. Nance is still there right at his quarter panel. Can't quite clear the 8. He finally cleared him as he goes into turn 3. 8 flying up the track, pinching the 78. Here comes the 80 of Nidic. Side by side down the front stretch they go. I think 4J got it. 4J gets it by .08. What a race that was to the finish line. It looks like Chase Harden might have had issues after the race. John Nidic falling just a spot short of that podium finisher spot. McCauley having a really good race, finishing in 5th. Matrice coming in 6th. Fastenbender 7th. JP 9th. Brandon Hughes coming in 10th. Those guys having a really good points night here tonight. But
Brady Price 11th. Good one.
the story is Alex 4J locking himself into the round of 12. He kind of gets a breather going into Rockingham next week. It's 4J. We're going to have to get with 4J and teach him how to do burnouts. What a race that was, though.
That it was.
Let's go ahead and
down to the line. Whew.
I don't know if it's this one. No. This right here. This move right here. I mean, they switched the lead a couple times after this, but this entry right here will kind of secure 4J win here, as they didn't even touch. They net coded going into turn 3. 4J pinched the 8 up to the high side, slowed down his corner entry, and from there 4J controlled the field. They'll move the race for the win right there. Going into turn 3, coming to the white flag. Wait for some of these guys to join the podium finishers. I think we're still waiting for Mr. Bo Dinger to join. So Thomas, I gotta ask. Connor Darnell said, I remember my first Lucky Dog. What happened? Did someone crash on a Lucky Dog lap?
No, the 95 Kevin Jordan,
Yeah.
when he got his Lucky Dog, he went low on everyone.
Bo Dinger
everyone's in there.
finally, Jones, go ahead and pull up Mr. Bo Dinger. What is going on, Bo?
Hey, man, just wrapped up.
I'm sorry, man. When I see your name, I don't know if you ever seen the Dukes of Hazzard movie. All I can think of is, I thought you said, "Go, Bo, go."
Well, sometimes you can say that about me. Sometimes I get in the way or whatever. But we had a good run tonight.
That indeed he did, dude. I know your non-playoff driver kind of threw a wrench out there in some of these playoff drivers playing. Talking to the racing here tonight, it was a really good race from start to finish. Really exciting finish there, man. You were there at the end. Do you think you could have done anything to get in front of the 8 or 78?
No, I definitely threw everything I had at them. That was two good drivers. I've seen them race now. This is probably my 5th start here, and they're two of my favorites. I've loved watching them compete. They're great.
Yeah, they're definitely the showmen of this series. Those two, as well as the 36 of Banks, who
Right,
wow.
right.
Wow, Banks finished 17th. Wow. Banks and Hover Lions insurance, his premiums going into Rockingham. But man, like I said, what an outstanding race there, dude. I don't think I've really called your name out in the top 5. What was different about this track? Is it just one of your favorite tracks to go to?
Yeah, I've had success here in the official iRacing series. I've got a win at Auto Club before. I'm still feeling out the series. We're in Arca. It's a development league. I'm moving up to Xfinity next year. I'm kind of excited about that with Omnia. That's the team. Shout out Ryan Hoover. Great group of guys. Love them.
I'm so glad you said your team name. I hope to God you didn't watch the endurance race broadcast. I couldn't pronounce your team name to save my life. I kept saying like Omna or something like that. I was brutalizing y'all's team name.
It's all good.
But man, we'll let you get out of here. Give any shout outs you want to give shout outs to, and man, what a race that was.
Yeah, I want to shout out the Formula Boys. I know they're watching at home. Thank you for your support, guys. We love you.
All right, man. Once again, congratulations on that third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Jonathan Nance. What's going on, Nance?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey, man, you definitely did not have an easy race here tonight, dude. I think you tagged that wall more than anybody else. You in that 78, man, what a battle that was at the end. He kind of choked you there a little bit going into 3, coming to the white flag, and kind of surprised you didn't throw more of a slide job on him. Go ahead and talk us through that last green-white checkered.
It's still all just a blur. I really wanted that one bad. I was running a special paint scheme for my nephew tonight, and I was really wanting to get the win for him. But under that green-white checkered, I figured he'd get by me, and I know that we hadn't had a lot of time on our tires yet, so I was just trying to charge the corner harder. And on the last lap coming out of 4, I got a little too tight and had to pedal it, and I kept telling myself, I don't want to put him in the wall. I don't want to put him in the wall. And that's pretty much how that went.
Yeah, man. I know next week we go to Rockingham, and we were talking about Rockingham earlier during the broadcast. How it's a whole different beast in itself. I mean, talking through your worries going into Rockingham because it's one of the few tracks where even lap traffic can't get out of the way because there's really nowhere to go.
Yeah. Well, lap traffic it is hard to get around because after your tires get worn, it is a one lane track. But after seeing the last couple of weeks, I don't think we'll have to worry about lap traffic as many cautions as we've been having. I don't know what the deal is, but I do love Rockingham. I love racing there. I've won a lot there, so I'm pretty excited about going there next week.
Yeah, without giving away your strategy, talk through the difficulties that these drivers are going to be facing going into next week at Rockingham.
Well, if nobody's ever been on a real tight corner bumpy track, they're in for a world of hurt. It is super bumpy. It could get you upset on the straightaway, on the back straightaway especially, and just how the corners pinch off. I mean, you really gotta know what you're doing. If these guys haven't been there, I definitely recommend putting in some practice time there.
Yeah, I can second that. I did a race there last night in another league, and glad I did. Learned how to pass cars there. About me, my next question is, I don't know how these Arca cars are, but every car I've raced there, it seems like passing is almost impossible, even on older tires. It seems like you got to bump people out of the way. Is that one of your concerns going into next week's race with these Arca cars? Like, you can't bump them?
Yeah, it definitely is. There's some guys that definitely don't mind giving you the bumper if they think you're holding them up. It is a concern. Not so much for me. I do believe I'm pretty quick there. But you never know. You know, some guys come out here and they surprise you. I know Bo Dinger will be fast. Alex will for sure be fast, and Banks will be fast.
All right, man. I'll let you give me a shout out if you want to give shout outs to, and congrats on the second place finish. I know it's not that win you wanted to get yourself locked in a guarantee spot in the round of 12, but good points tonight, and it gives you a pretty good cushion going into next week.
Yeah, quick shout out to my wife, my nephews, Connor, Jake, Addison, Luke, Lincoln, my dad. His birthday's today, the big 60. Had a big birthday present today. Got to go get some chemotherapy done for his bladder cancer. So hope you're feeling good, Dad. Happy birthday. And my brother, he's been texting me back and forth all race, just trying to give me strategies. Thanks to him.
All right, man. Congratulations on the second place finish.
Appreciate it.
Next, we'll bring up our winner, Alex 4J. What is going on, Alex?
Hello.
Hey, man, what a race that was there, dude. Didn't lead a lot of laps like we're used to seeing you lead here in the Arca and Truck Series. But, man, you got the win. You got yourself locked into the round of 12. Granted, you still got to show up next week at Rockingham. Man, talk us through that final green-white checker start. I know you pinched the 8 up, kind of. You didn't pinch him into the wall, but you kind of pinch him up on the high side. Really slowed him down on that corner entry of turn 3 coming to the white flag. So go ahead and talk us through the final 2 laps.
Well, I wish it was not a restart, first of all. I wish it was on green. I wish there wasn't a lot of yellows. Like, the first half of the race was pretty good, and then it went chaos, caution after caution after caution. But yeah, that last restart, that little pinch that I made Jonathan go and entering 3, it's because I knew that if I was going to straight to the bottom, he would have had a run on the outside, and I just couldn't let him do that. So I took a more like a middle lane, and I think he didn't expect me to do that, so that's why he lost a bit of momentum. But at the end, we fighted like crazy, and it's a pretty good redemption from what happened between us on the truck race. We had a lot of contact. It was not a good race for both of us, and I think this race, this last restart especially, made up for it.
Yeah, man. I know, like I said before, you're locked into the round of 12. Going into Rockingham, what is your strategy? I know you don't want to make enemies in the playoffs. Are you still going to try to go out there and get another win? Or are you just going to be out there to kind of get a feeling on how some of these guys drive on a short track, since we have, I think we have Phoenix in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, we do in the round of 8. So and we have we have Bristol in the round of 12. So
that's right.
But yeah, I bought Rockingham Monday night, so I have no clue on how to be ready for it.
So I'm gonna give you tips. All right, I'll give you tips off broadcast as well, because I just did a racer last night. But I definitely recommend you get some practice, whether it be an official or not official, a hosted race or an AI race passing there. Because when I raced it yesterday, it seemed like the only way to pass is bumping or running. You cannot do that in Arca. You cannot bump because you will spin the guy out. And I have seen it since its update. If you bump someone and you spin them, you can get hooked with them and go for a ride. But
Oh wow.
wish you luck next week in the Rockingham race. And if you stay in the voice channels, I'll hop down there when I get done with the broadcast and give you some tips on how to handle that track.
All right, and you know what? I almost missed the race, and honestly, 10 minutes to go with the practice, I was sure I was gonna throw up or something. But I came back, did my qualify, it calmed down, and this one just just make me feel better, you know.
All right, man. Once again, congrats on that win, getting locked into the round of 12. And now knowing that you've never raced Rockingham, I feel even more sweeter. You're guaranteed to be in the round of 12.
All right, thank you very much. That was really fun.
No problem. All right, so that will conclude tonight's broadcast, everyone. Appreciate y'all tuning in here tonight. Really exciting race we had here. Once again, we do have more playoff racing continuing tomorrow night with our Cup Series being live here at Auto Club for 100 laps of racing. And those Cup guys, like always, they're going to put on one hell of a show. So make sure you tune in for that. As like I said, Cups will get the playoffs going. And the next week, like I mentioned before, we continue the playoffs in Trucks, Arca, and Xfinity. No, Cup, Arca, and Xfinity at Rockingham, with Trucks having their final race of the regular season at the Monza Super Speedway. And like I said before, if you have never watched that race before and you want to see some hard hit crashes, tune in for that race. So those crashes, they get wild. So definitely tune in for that, as Tabor did put up some endurance racing info. So next time we get a chance to talk to Tabor, we'll go ahead and bring him in for some more endurance racing news, as our endurance race we had Saturday was a pretty good success. I think all but 3 teams did the whole 8 hours. Definitely a lot of fun there. Hasn't said it yet, but congratulations to Angel and Josh winning for the LMP2s. Misfit Motorsports, they went for the GT3s, and Latte, they went for the GTEs. Congratulations to you guys. Thank y'all once again for tuning in, and tune in tomorrow night if you can, or if not, definitely tune in next week for last regular season race for Trucks and second playoff for